and welcome to the basement where D&D is meant to be played. I'm Dakota King of the Cardboard Castle, and I'm here with the magnanimous Cody and Ariana Jones. Why did I look at you to say Cody and you to say Ariana?
You're going to confuse them, Dakota.
You're Ari now.
I am.
I mean, now you just have to swap your angles.
It's staying this way.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get a little look at their characters before our campaign begins on December 26th, right here on YouTube. This is the last of our little cast trailers before the show really begins, but you can follow us on Twitter at the Trash Castle, because the Cardboard Castle was taken, to get a little behind-the-scenes shenanigans. We'll jump in just a moment, but first, Camie, Vomar would like to welcome you home.
Lovely to be home.
You're dreaming, or you hope that you're dreaming, when sparks fly from your mouth and catch on the dry brush around you. The fire spreads in an instant circle around your feet, and you feel every nerve in your body pulse in response. You're frozen, unable to breathe or move or even think in the face of the flames that slowly creep outward from you through the forest. It dances, shifting from hungry orange to almost enraged green. It does not burn you, but God, it wants to. You know that it wants desperately to consume you down to ash. You can see the fire move from the underbrush up to the trees, helpless to stop it. You feel the earth thrum, shuddering in agony. The forest weeps in slow-dripping sap, sobs in the sounds of branches breaking and animals fleeing from the wrathful, all-consuming inferno. A path of scorched earth extinguishes itself before you. You're still frozen in place, but the smoke seems to coalesce into a figure walking towards you. You recognize her. How could you not? Who else could she be? She does not speak. She has not spoken in months. She stares at you, eyes made of glowing embers and hatred. The hatred is not for you, but you stand in its path nonetheless. Her anger is not your fault, but you feel responsible for it. You feel it is yours to enact, or yours to forgive. You're not sure which you are willing to do. The smoke fills your lungs, trapping you, choking you. You can't even move to cough, much less escape it. It makes your eyes water. You're not sure if that is the only reason for the tears running down your face. She opens her mouth to speak. All at once you wake up. It's not a gasping, jolting sort of wakefulness, but the kind of sudden awareness, attention in every part of your body that you have to consciously dispel. You're in your tent. You're alone. It's morning. You breathe in. You breathe out. Before you begin your morning, Hayes.
Yes?
Omar would like to say hello to you.
That is terrifying.
The rain of early morning drums lightly on the roof of your tent. It has known you in your time under its care, and it wants to say hello to you again. It's very rude of you to keep it out, you know. The rain is good for you. Any water can wash your body, but rain has a special way of rinsing the grime off of your spirit.
He's a little stinky.
It feels sad for you, in a way. With every drop, it learns your tale anew and wonders why you do not wait for it for yourself. It wants to reach out, to wrap you in cool comfort and wash away your troubles. The clouds that send it know that that's a great way to catch a cold. The rain will protect you as long as it falls. It promises. The sound of it will flood away your worries, leaving only its irregular, cheerful music. That is, until it exhausts itself in the blue light of pre-dawn. You woke up far too early, and you couldn't manage to get back to sleep. You're about 2 hours travel outside of town, and you just couldn't manage to get back in time with some of the caravan lagging behind. Your guide was pissed, but she kept it to herself mostly. It's morning now, and so you can't exactly try to go to sleep again without potentially delaying the caravan further. So you start packing your things and breaking down your tent even before the rest of the camp begins to wake. Who do we see stepping out into the morning light?
Stepping out into the light, you see a somewhat young, but definitely of adult age, Luantois. He is graced with sun-kissed bronzed skin and nice oil-slicked black feathers tied up in the back. They seem to gleam a nice, purpley blue in the sunlight. He is adorned in what seems like this navy, nice attire, with a bit of gold trim on the outside. On the shoulders, it kind of looks like he even has like feathers kind of going and like mixed in with his words. With his
Within the words.
within his clothing. At both his arms and his feet, he of course adorns his talons with great pleasure, stretching them and kind of reaching to the sky. A little bit stiff after that one.
In, the early light, it's still kind of that bluish dawn. You can see from where you set up camp, you're up a little ways onto this mountain. And you can see Odiev before you in the valley below. It's about 2 hours travel down. Not too far. Odiev is this strange, almost bowl-shaped city that, it has this kind of peak spire that used to have, a palace and whatnot. And the palace is still there, and there's still, a government that rules there, but it's not as grand as it once was. And it's not as exclusive as it once was. And then you have kind of this tier down to the lower towns and to the lower markets, and then what used to be just like the edge of town, the smaller neighborhoods. And then you have these constructions that have started in a different style, in these kind of hastily built squarish buildings that kind of build up and get taller and taller. And so Odiev has this kind of bowl with a drop coming out of it, kind of a feel to it. It's a very odd skyline where you have your fantastical castle cascading into sort of a poverty-stricken area, and then rippling out into more modern settlements, apartment buildings, even a few. One glittering skyscraper, and a lot of almost brutalist square buildings, tall square buildings on the edge. It's an odd sight, but it's an odd city. This is an odd place. It's very interesting. As you're putting away your stuff and starting to get yourself going and waking yourself up, you have a full night's rest, but you still don't feel like you slept all the way. Camie, what does he see as you exit your tent for the morning?
So, what he would see, as per her usual routine, you still have not quite been graced with the ability to see her face yet. She still obscures it by some strange mask or this kind of click seal mask that you hear the hiss of as it attaches to her face and around the base of her horns that you have caught glimpses of here and there. As she files out of her tent with mask in tow and beginning to wrap her cloak around, you would see you'd see a white blouse, almost tunic with it's not extremely well designed or in the best of shape, but it still looks sturdy, and along with a variety of other blue and black leathers that seem to kind of have more function than form. It seems like she puts padding at certain places in order to better brace herself against places that she may have been injured in the past. You don't know for sure. As she steps out of her tent, she quickly dons a kind of mottled, kind of grayish cloak that she tends to put over her horns, which you see her horns seem to stretch back from about the top of her head and kind of curve towards the back and then slope slightly up, just barely not touching one another, with this just shock of platinum blonde, almost silver hair, and the mask once again greeting you, this almost strange Rorschach that's just it's very strange. You have no idea where she got the design of it, and you know as we've talked about, you've wanted it, but she refuses to tell you where she got it from.
He needs one desperately.
He does.
Fantastic.
Yes, as she steps out, clips her cloak, puts her arms through the sleeves. Morning, Hayes.
Oh, you finally decided to join us, I see.
Yeah, a bit of a
At dawn.
bit of a rough and tumble night in the dreamscape. You're off awfully early. You're up awfully early. It was a rougher night than I thought it was.
But it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, is the rest of the caravan waking up, or are they fucking lollygagging like they were before?
Bit of lollygagging, but
Yeah.
I think that I heard a few children running around screaming a little bit.
Yeah, that's about right. Never was very fond of children. Not even when I was one. Right. As she would probably, being caravan leader, she would reach behind her back where she kind of has this almost like, not utility belt, but she has like this very functional belt that has a variety of pouches. And she reaches back underneath the cloak and this little rod that you've seen before, she presses a button as it full, almost as tall as her, if not taller. Oh God. Papers, don't run away.
Drop stuff.
Yeah, I won't. I'm trying not to.
I'm gonna shift my cameras, and then I'm gonna have to fix it.
Yes.
It's the cameras. Yes, that's
yes,
what we're.
that's all that matters.
They are all that matters.
You are all that matters to you. Not you, the
Beautiful.
audience. You, the camera. I love
The equipment.
the equipment.
But the equipment.
The
The
equipment.
equipment that's not even that good. I weep for
You-
this equipment.
It tries so hard.
It's trying so hard.
It is. It's doing the best it
It's doing
can.
the most. Please continue.
Anyways, you would see this long silverish looking spear, this very strange looking metal with these intricate runes all carved down the side, that you would see. They look like strange squigglies, but you've seen them probably around town a couple different times, depending upon what the shop is. You know. But you would also see this gnarled tip of the spear where it has a point down, and there seems to be these hooks, like these carved parts of the blade that would, as they pull out, seem to hurt a lot more, like after they go out than coming in, along with this weird, like kind of set of like a small bite-end part to it that also aids in making it hurt a lot more than it should.
Ouchie.
Yeah, it's a nasty spear. As she begins to spin the spear, you in the air you hear like this whistling noise. There's these like small holes in it that seem to create this like horrific like death whistle noise.
Yeah, that'll work everybody out.
Rise and shine, everyone! Rise and shine! We got a long day ahead of
And
us.
there's this like general grumble from the crowd as people start to, pack up. And this is not your usual caravans back and forth. You have a couple of like regulars that you guide that go once a month, once every other month. This is a bunch of newbies that are like moving to Odiev to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's been a pain in the ass
They
to
are
deal with these people.
insufferable.
You don't even have like one person who knows kind of the deal and can, help with the culture of the caravan that you're stuck with for 2 weeks.
Yep.
God, these people suck. But you get them in shape pretty quickly, and you kind of head down the path. Roll me a survival check.
Ooh, first
As
roll.
the guide.
Okay. Let's go with this one. This one was rolling well for me earlier. Not anymore. That's a lie.
You say that.
Yeah. Why would you, like on camera, why would you lie to me like that? 11.
Making a fool of me.
11.
Yeah.
It's not very hard. I mean, you've been through here 1,000 times. It's more just like picking the terrain that's best for this group.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple, from where you are, there's a couple of paths down. You pick the one that winds a little bit more because these people are, cannot do inclines. Or declines, I suppose. But you managed to get back into town with an extra half hour longer than you expected, but God, these people suck. So
Yeah. Yes, right. File on in. Yes. Welcome to ODF, all that. Make sure you tip your guides and all that.
Tips are appreciated.
Tips are appreciated. Yes, listen to this one.
the person who kind of organized this caravan does pay you. There is no hazard pay. There's often a contract for hazard pay upon the presence of hazards.
Mm-hmm.
This was very uneventful, and so you don't get that extra 200 credits that you ask for usually in the usual contract.
Damn, I was really hoping for Displacer Beast or something.
Yeah, something. I think we got a copper.
Oh,
I think
God.
that's what their color is.
Is that it? I forget that's still real money anymore.
It's probably an insult.
Yeah, it is. That was the tip.
That-
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, just the tip. Right. Well, we're here.
I believe I have some shopping to do. You said they have food here, like the stuff that you make, correct?
Oh, not as good as what I make, but sure. Yeah, they have food.
Oh, that's disappointing.
They have some tasty things, but it's not what I make in the wild.
Challenge accepted. Let's go find something good.
I suppose.
You know of a couple of places to get a good, comforting home cooked meal. There's like fancy places you can go eat, but you've been traveling for so long, you want something that you don't have to make. Candle Glow Inn, they have the best fucking stew. They have the best soup. You just want some fucking soup.
Yep.
It's the end of the summer. The heat of the day hasn't quite settled in, and it's weird to have soup for breakfast, but you want soup for breakfast so bad.
It's really good.
So you head to the Candle Glow, and you do pass the little building where the next caravan that you're taking to Fort Pine Point, that's where they normally set up, and you do see 3 hover carts that a Luther woman is messing with, as well as several two horse-drawn carts and 2 carts drawn by oxen. The reliable kind.
Yeah, the ones that actually can, not the shitty off-world ones. No, the ones that are from here.
Yeah.
That have lived here and been grown
The
here.
ones that are easily fixed if they're broken. You don't have to leave them to get fixed, over the course of several months. Anyway.
They must
Fucking
always
robots.
be complicated.
Does it look like it's at least like a halfway well-armed lot that's with the group, or is it...
So they're not ready to go yet. You have carts that are lined up. They're not going to leave until tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
You have the day here to do so. But you do see a couple of armed individuals. There's 3 companies represented, as you're aware. You can go get the actual manifest from the person running this caravan, Valisur.
Valisur.
VAL''ISUR.
That's the wrong thing to write with.
She's a Luther woman who is very no nonsense. Always pays you very well. She organizes this caravan that goes once a month. Once there, once back, every month. Mostly selling. She transports minerals that are mined here to be sold to a wholesaler in the Fort Pine Point colony. But she also will often organize other companies to come with her. They pay her, she pays you, she pays you very well. But there's her, and you can get the rest of the manifest from her if you would like to as you pass.
Yeah. What you said was Valor was her name?
Valisur.
Valisur.
VAL''ISUR.
ISUR. I knew there was an I in there somewhere. As we pass by, I would say, "Morning, Valisur." As you take notice of, it's still weird to get over the amount of fingers that Camie has. With the left hand waving, you'd see 7.
Did you grow an extra one on that trip.
You don't pay that much attention, do you? And that's not very nice to talk to a lady
Morning,
about her
Cam.
fingers. How's this?
You're late.
Yeah, that happens when you have a bunch of children and old people.
Well, you're not late for me, but
Yeah.
You're done.
How's this next batch looking?
Rowdy.
My favorite type.
Rowdy.
Mm.
There's a lot of. Do you want the manifest?
Yeah, I'll take it off your
And
hands.
she'll kind of pull up from the bottom of her clipboard. She's got a page that she'll hand to you on Demosian paper, which is just this too clean kind of. It still feels weird. You want nice parchment. It's not nice parchment. It's
No.
paper. It's weird.
Yeah.
Feels weird.
Is it like printer paper versus like hand cut paper, basically?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Just the
You
worst.
want your hand cut paper, but it's a sheet
Yeah.
of printer paper. But she'll hand you the manifest, and there are 3 companies represented. There's her company as well as a entertainment group that travels back and forth quite often. You've met all of these people. There's a couple of them that there's one just phenomenal singer who every time you don't necessarily insist that she sings at your campfires, but somebody does.
Yeah.
And you always appreciate it because a lot of it is these classic tales, often in Vomarin, of stories from your childhood. Things kind of stories that you feel are being lost.
I gotta keep up appearances. I can't be letting everyone know that I like music.
Do you like music though? I've seen, the thing you whip around, your staff, that sounds like a death flute.
That's exactly what it is, a little bit.
Beautiful, beautiful music.
There's her company, there's the entertainment company, as well as a Vomarin enchanter who you've met. She's an Earth Genasi named Amber, with very dark amber skin that sort of, looks like black amber. Wonder where she got her name from.
Wonder where.
That you can kind of almost see the light through at the corners, that has that golden glow, but then just becomes this opaque, dark. She's a lovely woman, very kind, excellent enchanter. And you see her section of the manifest looks like she's bringing everything.
Oh wow, that's quite a sight there. That's like 2 pages worth.
She's moving entirely from here to Fort Plain Point.
Really? Why?
Better money, I guess. She's gotten some good deals, when she's traveled with minor stuff. So she's just packing up with her partner and heading out.
Well, gotta make your money somehow, I suppose.
I suppose.
Indeed.
Just sad that it's leaving the town. Love this weird ass town.
If it works for her, I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyway, we did also pick up one security for I hired a security contractor. They seem rowdy. Keep an eye on them. I did the pay on arrival contract and not the pay up front contract.
Did they give a deposit at least or anything along those lines?
They had they were going to take the caravan anyway. They just offered to be helpful, I suppose. So I don't know what's going to come of that. Ravash, friend.
Ravash.
The what do you call them here? Dragonborn. They're not the same.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, the weird off-worlder.
The scary people.
Yeah. You've probably seen.
Don't say that to his face.
Yeah. I will not do that.
But I also it was the contract we pay on arrival with the hazard pay. It's if there's a hazard, there rarely ever is.
Background checks come in clean.
As many as I can make. Not everyone
Yeah.
can,
Yeah. It's all beyond me, anyways. You're the one who's going through the computer.
This one is going to be a rowdy one. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's always fine.
But
Right.
there's your manifest. Be right on.
All right. Well, we're gonna go get some stew. I know it's a weird time of year. Been having a hankering for it, and I haven't had the time to get the ingredients I need.
You don't have to explain yourself to me.
All right.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Hayes, let's go.
You make your way to the Candle Glow Inn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, the stew. They have like a perpetual stew.
Oh yeah.
Your good old perpetual stew,
Mm-hmm.
which sounds really fucking weird to you, but there's nothing better than like a good perpetual stew.
Mm-hmm.
He just likes good food.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He's a
That's
foodie.
fair.
By that he
It's
loves
nothing
most
fancy, but it's definitely nothing to throw your pen on the ground at.
Yeah, that's change proof. That's the new phrase now.
Yep,
food.
that's
Everyone has to bring their pen.
Yep.
And
it's nothing fancy, but it's nothing to shake a finger at. And they've got these little hand pies, these little like meat hand pies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, they're so flaky. They just melt in your mouth. They're perfect. Mwah.
Mm-hmm.
Breakfast is phenomenal and only costs you 2 silver.
heck yes.
How much did we earn from the trip?
200 credits.
200 credits.
Credits.
Because these
My
were
kind of money.
mostly Demosians.
Mm.
And they paid you all in credits. And 1 copper. Because they thought, oh, it's Volmaran money. They're Volmarans. They'll be happy. It's a Volmaran.
Yeah.
They're not Volmaran. These funny people that we live with.
Mm-hmm.
Racist assholes.
Yeah.
But you have breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you'd like to do with your day before
As
you head out again tomorrow?
Hayes will definitely finish his soup with a fervor, and
I told you
with
it's
the-
good. It's not
with
mine,
like
but it's good.
dripping down his face. What?
Manners. We're in public. Yeah. She has like
It's delicious.
she has the part of the mask that basically opens up for her mouth so that she can eat.
You know, you could just take that off.
That would spoil the fun, now wouldn't it?
I suppose.
Look.
He
You've-
just kind of like takes a napkin and just wipes
Yeah.
it off inside.
Look, you've been good, you've been reliable. I'm sorry for the mystery that I seem to... I know, the alluring and enchantment that I bring to everywhere I go, but it's for my protection as much as it is for yours.
Alright, I suppose.
It's... don't want to draw the wrong kind of company, you know? As she finishes up her stuffed rest of meat pie and...
Where's the fun in that?
You go to reach for your bowl again, Hayes, and it has like moved 2 feet to the left.
Why do you keep on putting your bowls and shit like that on the edge of the table? Like, every time.
Getting dog shit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't you
And,
fucking lie to me.
He's getting up
Oh,
in the soup.
God. Been on this planet for 3 months and you can't even eat right anymore.
Anymore, actually. That boy's excited.
They,
about his food.
they call this planet full of backwater savages. Come on now. You get a little bit of a hint in her voice that she's fucking with you. She likes to haze you as was.
As he just finishes up his god. I was worried
I'm so sorry.
when I made
How long
his
were you
name.
holding on to that?
Oh, a
I
while.
was worried when I made his name. I was like, this is gonna be a problem.
Yep.
There's some stuff you could do with this, and I'm like, gosh, dang it. He just
As soon as she made the name, I was
You're
like,
grounded.
I know. Well, luckily my character is on the ground, so we're like, I earned that. It's mine now, though.
he just goes to eat his hand pie and he tries to sit up straight and he just slowly nibbles at it. Is that better?
Don't
she-
think your bowl falls on the ground.
Damn it.
You're so clumsy. As she presses the mouth thing again, bah! And burps very loudly.
Just continues. He's like, fuck it, and just starts shoving it in his mouth.
Yeah.
It just goes. He's excited. He's hungry. It's
Yeah.
been a long trip.
Yeah. 200.
Swallow just as much air as food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's
But-
excited.
You eat. You are sated. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
I would love to do some shopping now that we have some more money. This is
Only they kind of paid us a pittance, didn't they?
But I know I saw plenty of little shops around the way.
Yeah, all right. I'll go with you just to make sure they don't fleece you. Not like last
What kind of stuff
time.
are you looking for?
He's definitely walking into the nearest gift shop.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's happening.
Really? This is where you want to go, really?
Look it!
This
What
is
is that? It's got feathers on it.
Yes.
I need it. He throws on this giant pink, feather boa.
Oh, cripes, are you kidding me?
Throws,
Gods above and below.
Throws one above his shoulder. Do I look intimidating?
You look like a fucking moron. You're chuckling from inside her mask, though. If you're trying to attract a peacock, I think that's probably the look to go for.
Maybe peacocks would be better company than you. And he goes
Probably.
over and he goes and starts just like looking at all the random shit they have.
Right you are, bird boy, right you are.
Shut up and get yourself a candy bar.
One Knickers, please. I'm
You're
sorry.
the only person I've had to shoot twice.
I believe that. How many times did you have to shoot Blake? I wonder.
Once.
That's fair.
He eventually finds a nice pair of aviators that he thinks he looks dashing in. And he also finds this, cap. And on this cap it says, I went to Odiev and all I got was this shitty hat.
You may now shoot my wife.
Did I hit you in the eye?
You okay?
I'm not sorry.
I'm not sorry!
I did it anyway.
Just
No.
a big old smile as you reach in the giant bag.
Oh, no, you're not getting that hat.
I need it.
You really don't.
I need it.
Fuck it, it's your money.
The guy
whatever.
behind the counter said that it looked great on me.
That's what he's supposed to tell you. He's a salesman.
Really does.
See? Look at that smile. How can you just say no?
You're a deceiver, Charles, and you know it.
My name's Peter.
That's on me. I should have known that. I've been to this town a billion times.
How much do I owe you, Charles?
The hat's 10 credits.
Slaps it down. I also need the boa and the glasses and a couple of chocobars.
20 credits.
Slaps it down. Deal. And he goes.
Definitely less than that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
He's getting ripped
Oh, yeah.
off. So as we walk out the door, he flips his feather boa one more time and he hands you a chocolate bar and says, "Now what do you need to buy?"
She looks at the chocolate bar. She looks back and forth. Stuffs it inside of her cloak.
That's what I thought.
I mean, I'm pretty well set. I mean, I think I might just have... Maybe I'll go stop by Rufus real quick and see if he can fine-tune the helmet. It's been giving me random static every so often.
I think.
What are you looking for?
I also could use some other souvenirs. I don't quite find.
Okay, let me take you to better shops then, please. Please, it hurts my soul to see.
Charles is my friend.
Charles is everyone's friend.
He takes my money.
Also,
with
his
a
name's
smile.
actually Peter. I don't know how I missed that fact. I've been coming to this town for...
Why did he answer to Charles?
I think that's just what people... I think he just looks like a Charles, you know? And that's just... I think that you eventually just give in. Like when someone is named like Jerry or Terry, they tend to be interchangeable.
Alright then.
Yeah.
I would love if we could maybe go to a computer store, maybe some more gadgets.
Yeah, Rufus is the one to see for all that.
Do you know what I could get for...
Can't
Say
have
I
much.
have an angry sibling and she just she needs something to just get it out of.
See, that reference is completely lost on me because I'm an only child, so I don't really understand what an angry sibling is like.
She's stressed all the time. She's, yeah, I told you a little bit about Val.
Yeah, she sounded like a peach, didn't she?
She's lovely.
Mm-hmm. She sounds high-strung as fuck.
She looks like she could wring your neck.
Oh, yeah, she could try.
It's fair.
Detect like the slightest bit of a
Stress.
smile.
Hold on. I thought I saw some squeeze balls in the window. He goes.
No,
he goes
no.
back in to go. He just runs it, and he grabs a stress ball, and
How much did Peter have you pay for that?
I forgot his name's Peter. That's what you just told.
So he had you pay like 50 credits for it.
It's another 10 credits.
You know that the price tag is like five to like 3 credits, right? Usually for that. No, okay. All right, let's go see Rufus. I will lead him to the rusty bucket.
Okay.
Yeah.
You head over to this place that you know quite well.
Yeah.
The sign on the window is flipped and there's no light from inside.
Well, that's quaint. Is it like a day that Rufus would be closed, like, or is it?
He keeps weird hours. I mean, like, he very rarely takes days off,
Yeah.
and they're not like scheduled. He's one of those guys that works himself almost to death, and then like takes a couple of days off,
Yeah.
and then works himself almost to death again.
Yeah.
Not necessarily great for business, but his clientele is less the 9 to 5 type.
Yeah. Or we're gonna show up at wherever the fuck we feel like at whatever hour we feel like.
Yeah.
Is it like one of those shops where like he lives up above, or do I know if he lives somewhere else
You
completely?
don't know.
Okay, cool.
How do you know this, Rufus?
Oh, I try and keep him as far away from me as I can throw him, but he seems to keep chasing after me.
Well, we did walk into his store, so I think that
Uh,
you may be looking for him.
You're not wrong. I hate that you're right. I will just kind of tap on the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long do you wait?
Probably like, actually she's a little impatient, so she would probably wait like maybe a couple minutes. Be like tapping one of her hooves.
It's almost rhythmic. I think it sounds better than your flute. You got something going on there.
No one seems to come to the door in that amount of time.
Huh. Interesting. She's gonna go around back and just make sure everything's okay. So I'd like him to take days off, especially when he knows there's money to be made. Made you try and send ravens to him, even though he thinks it's crude and savage in advance of him coming back.
So he knew you were coming.
Hopefully. Assuming the raven didn't get eaten.
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah.
Did that raven ever come back to you? Did you train it to come back?
No. It was a rental.
Roll me an investigation check.
Sure. Sure.
It was a rental.
Rent a
Hockey.
raven. Rent a raven service.
Yeah, sure. That is 18.
18.
Yeah.
There is a back door.
Yeah.
You kind of knock on it, and it doesn't. No one comes to the door in a certain amount of time, but it does seem to be unlocked.
Is Rufus a particularly paranoid person, or is
Rufus is sometimes rather sloppy.
okay?
He can be paranoid when it gets to a point where he hasn't slept in 5 days in a row. As you know, tends to happen when you're extremely sleep deprived, which he gets to a lot.
I'm gonna make sure that there's just like no guards just ambling around, and then best we go run in and see that, make sure that the poor man isn't dead.
That would probably be for the best.
Roll perception.
Sure.
Not great.
9.
Struggling.
9.
Can I assist?
You-
Is it late? It's late.
Yep.
You can see, I mean, there's a couple of, like, guards on the street, but they're not, like, necessarily on the job. They're just people who are in kind of that pale green of ODF's official colors. But none of them are really paying attention to this end of the street. They're ways down.
Cool.
So.
Alright. Let's take a pop in real quick. Well, at the very least, we'll lock the place up before we go.
Yes, that would probably be for the best.
Okay.
Go inside real quick.
You go inside the back door.
Mhm.
The front door was locked
Yeah.
when you checked it before. You head in the back door, and the back room is a mess. As it, you've never been back here, but you assume just from the way Rufus is, it's kind of a mess. You couldn't really see in through the window; it was too dark. But as you go from the back room into the front, what was the normal mess very clearly has been over. Like, tables have been overturned, shelves have been smashed. Somebody has come rooting through this place and wrecked it.
Oh, that's less the normal mess and more of a criminal mess, it seems.
As you head back into the back room and you kind of take stock of that mess again, it does look like things have been strewn about the floor, things that, would obviously be stacked together, even if that stack was kind of a mess, have been knocked over, and someone was looking for something.
To leave with haste? Someone come in here.
I mean, I don't know who would want to steal all this shit from Rufus.
Someone's still in here. Can I, looks around and
I'm gonna listen out to see if there's anyone still in here.
Roll perception check.
Yeah.
I will say, with your previous investigation, there is a second floor to the building.
Yeah.
And there is a staircase. There's a door to a staircase in the back room.
It's a 19.
19.
Yeah.
No.
You don't hear anything?
Yeah, because the spear's a little unwieldy in here, she puts the spear away and then pulls out her shot gauntlets and gets them charged.
Okay.
Alright, if we're going to go for that kind of force.
Yeah, well, we don't know what we're dealing with. Maybe the infiltrator's still here. Maybe Rufus is just a fucking slob, like I always think he is.
Yeah, fine. And he pulls out his plasma staff, turns it on as nice long claws start to come out from the top that look like they have talons themselves, and somewhat of a ghostly aura comes floating up.
Ooh. Okay.
That's weird. It's cool, but it's weird.
No, it is.
Yeah.
You can't show off all the time.
Yeah, we'll very quietly begin to try and go upstairs and investigate.
Roll stealth checks for me,
Sure.
please, both of you.
Please don't scream. Ooh, 19.
I got 19 also.
Wow!
19 plus 6, so that is a 25.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Your total area was
19.
No.
Okay, your total was 19. Okay, I rolled a 19.
Sorry.
How dare
I know.
Pretty good on both of you, though.
Yeah.
You very gently open the door, very slowly so it doesn't creak. Almost lifting it off the hinges so it doesn't. You creep up the stairs, keeping your feet to where they won't make the boards creak, towards the side where they're more secure. And you creep up, and there's kind of an opening to a hallway and then into an apartment. And as you kind of head up and head around to the corner, there are spots where there were things on the walls. Obviously, even like there's like sticky tack still up on the walls and discoloration where something was there for a long time. There's no furniture. There's no, that's a lie. There is some furniture. There's like large pieces have been left behind, couches and whatnot. but it looks as if someone was living here recently and moved in a hurry. Like moved, not packed their essentials and left, but packed everything that they could and left.
So does it just look like the conspiracy strings kind of going in all manner of different places?
No, like it's not like things were on the wall,
okay.
as in like posters. And
Okay, yeah.
It just looked like
Back to
someone
their life.
grabbed the things that were important to them, family pictures, whatever,
Yeah.
and left.
Did Rufus have any enemies?
Couldn't tell you for certain. Tried to keep a more acquaintanceship with his, rather than a friendship, but I suppose I'm getting a little bit more concerned than that to be able to tell that anymore.
Do you have any other methods of contact?
Oh, I'm sure there is a way to get a hold of Rufus. I just don't have it.
Got any more rental ravens? As you
Oh,
call them?
I think that that business is starting to get very discontinued at this point.
Rusty's rental ravens, I believe.
Yeah, that's good alliteration. I like it. Does it seem like there was a struggle or anything like that happened up here as well?
Roll another investigation check.
Sure.
Because I don't remember what the last one was.
I think
Don't answer me. Roll
Okay.
a new one.
It's mediocre. That's a 15.
15?
Yeah.
Not as far as you know.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like there was something that happened. You don't know if it was a fight, a struggle, or if someone came in and smashed a bunch of shit
Mhm.
or was looking for something.
Hmm.
But something happened below, and Rufus no longer lives here. He left a lot of his merchandise as well.
Huh. All right. Did I see any blood or anything like that, or does it just look like it was just turned over a little bit?
You didn't see any blood.
Okay.
It's not a guarantee there isn't any, but you didn't see.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, I guess we can see if there's any curios you want downstairs, and
Oh, there always is.
yes, I'm sure. Don't take too much. We have to leave money in case he does come back.
He does seem like he might be gone for a while, perhaps permanently.
That's fine. We will confirm whether that is the case or not later.
Then someone else gonna come in here and steal the money we leave on the counter.
That just is that's an unfortunate loss we'll just have to absorb, I suppose. Rufus is good people. I guess I'm gonna start heading back downstairs. And,
Okay.
yeah, I guess I'll just kind of take a peek, see it, because I know he always liked to have like random curios as well. Like the tech stuff is kind of beyond her, range of care, but like just little baubles or bracelets or anything like that,
Right.
she's always into finding.
What kind of you're into baubles? What kind of stuff are you looking for, Hayes?
Hayes would be looking for even like slightly broken technology would be excellent because he would be purchasing something for his dear sister who he knows that they couldn't really afford as much, so it would be lovely if he could get her something to practice on, something that she could fix, maybe
So-
even make better.
Specifically, something broken.
Yes.
And when you say technology, are you looking for more computer-based stuff or more like mechanically based stuff?
Probably
or-
more computer based.
Okay.
He's not as well versed, but he would roughly know that he'd be looking for some type of like some sort of computer, handheld or otherwise.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me separate investigation checks. both of
Sure.
you.
Okay. Oh, cool. I did that. That is a 13.
17 for me.
17.
Mhm.
You managed to find all manner of broken shit.
Yes.
You're not sure what any of it does,
Super dope.
but you can write down 2 personal devices, personal computer devices
Okay.
of some kind. You don't know necessarily what they do or what they're supposed to do. Those, seem like viable candidates for something for your sister, as well as There's like what looks to be almost like a smartwatch kind of a deal, but you don't know. You don't know what it does. It's definitely, the screen is smashed, so it doesn't do anything right now.
I'm going to roll sleight of hand
Okay.
when Camie is not looking
Okay.
to slip the computers into let's see, personal computer devices
Okay.
onto his person.
Roll sleight of hand.
Um,
Onto his person. Oh,
onto my
his,
person.
on Hayes.
Onto Hayes without Camie
My
noticing.
brain. Wow.
You're good.
Wow.
It's late in the evening. I'm tired. I got 4
100%.
hours of sleep last night. What do you want?
100%. Where even do we have sleight of hand on this anymore?
Oh, is that not a thing?
Oh
That's
yeah, that's
not
one of the
a
ones that got
thing.
pulled, I think.
You are correct.
Would it be like a stealth?
Maybe.
That's like
I'm going
deception?
to say. Yeah, make that deception. Sure.
okay. Do not screw me, please. Ooh. I got a 16.
16. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can get one of the personal devices hidden before, Camie turns around from what she's looking at.
I think I found these 2 items, this kind of watch thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you even know what this is?
Oh, gods no.
Do you know what this is? I held up the personal computing device. It looks mechanical. I think it kind of looks like a PDA.
She reaches into her bag and she pulls out her little handheld computer that's like basically like the equivalent of not like a Palm Pilot, but it's an old computer that is running
Nice.
on a pretty old OS. This is about the maximum amount that I really have the capacity to understand.
I get that. So it's broken. I mean, it can't be worth that much.
Is there a price tag?
There's not a price tag.
Yeah, of course there's not a price tag.
There's not a price tag, and you and I know nothing about this equipment. It's smashed, partly, but it looks fixable.
I'll just put... Yeah, sure, fine. We'll just leave him like 50 credits and a note or something like that. Have I found any like interesting little? She looks for like charms and stuff like that. To like on the ends of her bracers, she has like little little hooks where she can put like charms.
Don't find a lot of his curios. You find a lot of tech stuff that he would have a lot of the things that he would have kept, to sell to you or to, the people who he knew were into like the weird little things that he collected. A lot of those seem to have been taken. Either taken with him or taken by somebody else, you don't know. But those are gone.
Did you find what you needed?
No, which is unfortunate. Seems that most of the curios got bought out before I got here.
You say bought out, but
Well,
they may have been doing a little bit of slippery fingers.
She kind of looks over at you.
What, we're paying for these?
Yes. She'll put the 50 credits and write a little note saying, where'd you run off to, you fucking fuck? We wanted to buy stuff. Here's some money. If you needed more, let me know.
That's
and
good.
just dash C with a period.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Easily enough.
All right.
Throw that on the counter and head on your merry way.
Yeah.
Wondering
Maybe.
what the fuck happened to that guy.
Yeah. That's strange.
Don't have any technology to reach him.
He always wanted to get me a communicator, but I have moral objections. I have my objections in particular.
So you got a raven instead?
Yeah. What? They're very smart birds, okay? They're one of the smartest like avian creatures out there.
I always hear
They're-
that's quite trash, but sure.
I mean, they're a little smarter than you, I think, but right. Well, I guess the rest of the afternoon, wherever Hayes wants to go, I'll probably just try and go there and try and be the, the social muscle to try and make sure that he doesn't get fleeced.
Also, once we were kind of looking around the shop, he would have deactivated his plasma stuff.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, shotgun, let's put away.
Put down your weapons.
Yep.
As you kind of start resupplying for your next caravan and start to take care of business, Camie.
Yeah.
You notice a figure out of the corner of your eye, and she doesn't spook you anymore. You're used to her presence. She is staring at something, and you sort of follow her eyes, and you find a young woman, half elven, maybe no older than 16, who grabs something off of a table, off of a market table, very deftly, just seems to be kind of looking over, or checking ripeness of fruits, and very quickly and quietly pockets one of them and keeps going. And she seems to lock eyes with the figure in your periphery, not you, and wink and disappear into the crowd.
What the fuck?
Roll me a perception check, please.
Yeah. Natural 1.
Natural 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
So total of 7.
7.
Yeah.
Still not quite enough. She disappears.
Yeah. Shite. She kind of would have lurched forward, and as she disappeared, just fuck.
Did you see something?
It's probably nothing. As she would look at if this shadow is still looking in her direction, maybe she'll follow. If she can follow her eyes, maybe. If she's still there.
You look back at the shade, and the shade is now staring at something just to the left of Hayes, and then kind of shakes her head, and as she does, dissipates. It's gone. Hayes.
Oh no.
Just for a moment, as Camie's distracted, you notice a figure in your periphery who no longer spooks you. A younger figure, one that's one of your more constant companions. Seems to be in a staring contest with something to the right of Camie. And then crosses his arms.
He's pouting again.
I'm not pouting!
That's what they all say.
I'm not pouting.
He would be saying this kind of whispering under his breath. But with that look, don't know why you're upset right now. Is there something?
He isn't responding to you. He'll get in modes like that where he doesn't respond for days at a time. This seems to be one of them.
I'm just going to sit there. What dad has?
Hey, talking to yourself again. You alright?
Obviously.
Austin.
Everything's peachy. Everything's peachy and fine, Keenan. How are you?
Fine.
Yep.
But
I just kind of look over at him and I just go,
what? What? Say it out loud, motherfucker.
do you have any other places you would like to go to, Camie? Anywhere away from here? Anywhere where they sell the lovely face masks? Maybe anything similar?
You're spending a lot of money.
They don't. The only person who was able to craft the mask to my specifications has now flown the coop. So until we can
That
find...
statement too many times.
I'm sure you have. She'll probably take him around to a couple other curio shops. She'll try and find some more like charms and stuff like that and bracelets, and she probably would stop by anyone who is, relatively close with Rufus and see if they have any idea where he might have gone off to, if they know anything.
Roll a... I don't want to say investigation again. Just a general charisma check.
Oh, why?
Because that's fun for me.
It's not for
Because
me,
you
though.
struggle.
Yeah. Almost an 18.
Almost.
Now it's a 2. It's now to 1.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oof.
No one seems to know anything. No one's seen him in days.
Do you know where he likes to go?
He likes to be in his shop working. For some reason, he's unlike most other outsiders where he actually kind of fucking loves this planet. He's one of the weirdest people I've ever met.
He finds joy in his work. What's weird about that?
Usually, most everyone who comes here they seem amused for the first few days, and then they feel like they've been stepping in shit for the rest of it.
He looks under his feet to check.
Yeah, don't. It happens sometimes. It's not uncommon.
Who plans these streets?
It's a little bit in disrepair. Yeah. She would probably, when Hayes is in one of the shops, will probably keep an eye out. She usually is trying to make sure there's no recruiters that are out grabbing Vomarans.
Roll me a perception check.
Sure.
Lots of rolls.
That's a rolls,
Rolls for
yes.
dates.
That's a 24.
24. You are fairly confident that today seems pretty clear.
Okay.
You don't see any untoward recruiting. You don't see any vulnerable people being picked upon.
Good.
Not in the way that others have.
How shady is the city supposed to be exactly? How shady is this city usually?
This city has its dark spots just like all the others. There's definitely an underbelly here, but it's more out of desperation than it is the natural inclination towards criminal activity purely for profit.
Thank God for Peter, because otherwise this place would be a shithole.
You're not wrong. But yeah, the shadiest of them all tends to be the recruiters that come through.
Recruiters?
Yeah,
What do they do?
they nasty folk. They have a penchant for finding desperate people and putting them in unfavorable situations in hopes of erasing debt or finding a better life for themselves, and it's rarely either.
They prey on the weak, I see.
That they do. Seems that that scum is hiding where it's supposed to be today, which is a good sign. It's a good day.
Let me take a look to see if anyone's looking a little bit shady. And he will actually go and fly up for a second, kind of get a glance around the city. Just kind of go up, see if he finds.
You're just flying around
anything.
to get a bird's eye view on.
But the reality is, well, actually, he might know. He's worked with shady people. He knows.
Roll me a perception check.
He knows shady. He's like, my people. I'm kidding.
Oof.
He's not like my. I'm kidding. Actually, he has a decent bit on that, so that would be actually a third. No. Words. 11. Can't do math.
11.
Yep.
It's hard to tell. I mean, you kind of have to keep a certain speed to stay at a certain altitude. You know, you're. It's a gorgeous city. You're flying just a little bit too fast to be able to like clock anybody.
He's a little too busy taking in the sights.
Yeah,
He's excited.
but you do manage to find your way back to where you were before. You don't get lost.
Yep, right here. Land right here. Yep, bring it on in.
Oh, fine. And lands back down. I saw some pretty places. I found...
It's a gorgeous city. You should have seen it before everyone else came here.
I think I found a couple more shops like Peter's.
It is. The sun is setting at this point. You've been out and about for the entire day. And you have a caravan to lead first thing in the morning.
I suppose we should get some rest. Rest would be good.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got a little bit of work to take care of, but let's go back to that inn we were at, see if we can get some rooming for the night.
You mean like with real beds?
Yes, real beds.
Real beds.
I
That
know,
sounds
glorious, aren't they?
wonderful. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
You're telling me you don't enjoy the rocks we sleep upon. My word. You have no respect for nature.
Sometimes a nice feather pillow feels like good comforts. Rocks feel like home. Steady. Let's go get some pillows.
Yeah, I don't
And
know
by
you're
that
getting
I
out there.
But you're able to acquire rooms for the night. They don't actually charge you. They know you.
Appreciate you.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. But it's just a matter of like whenever the person at the counter is feeling extra generous and they happen to have the room.
I pay for a pint to at least give them a little bit of business.
Cut off a silver.
Yeah.
But yeah, you settle in for the evening, and sleep finds you. Not necessarily fully restful. You're still worried about the events, the days ahead.
Yeah.
You feel you don't have the same dream. You still feel that thrum in every nerve of your body. You still feel the pulse of the earth screaming in agony, and another dream washes it over and calms you. Waves on a shore, washes it away. You do not see the figure, but you know that she's there. That's where we're going to cut this one for the night. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for joining our last cast introduction. In 2 weeks, you will find us again, beginning the campaign in earnest.
We're so excited.
We'll probably be less tired at the time, hopefully. Cross our
Don't
fingers.
believe them. No, that's not how this works.
Well,
Thank you for joining us. Find us again on December 26th when we do this again for real. I'm nervous as hell. It's going to be fine.
It's gonna be
wonderful.
Going to be
fantastic.
fine.
Yeah.
It's going to be
as we
great.
see how all these threads cross together and crash into each other, and
Crash is a good word for it.
crash is a good word for it. It's going to be a disaster.
Yes.
In the best of ways.
A glorious disaster.
Thank you for joining us. We love you. Have a wonderful evening and stay safe.
Good evening.
Bye-bye.